Oh, welcome to Type Top. I'm Emily Gabaldon. My guest today is Cooper Polly, and he is here to talk about the life as an employee and of a student-led newspaper called The Courier. So, Cooper, what made you want to start working for The Courier last year?
Oh, well, 2 years ago, my friend Anthony Matozzi, he was a senior here, and he was a sports editor when he was here. And I started being a contributing writer for him 2 years ago when I was a sophomore, and just writing sports recaps and stuff like that. And, I liked it a lot, and at the end of the year, he said that if I applied for the job that I would pretty much get it. So I was kind of skeptical at first just because I had a lot going on, cross country and track and schoolwork and stuff. But I met with Professor Angotti, and then I met with Christian and Miranda, who were going to be the co-editors and chiefs of the newspaper, and I decided to do it, and it was a great decision on my part, I thought.
And being the sports editor, what are your weekly duties?
Well, on Wednesday we have a meeting that we set up what we're going to do for the paper next week, everyone's going to go to, what sporting events, what things are going on around campus, and when we look at that, we write them up on the board, and we either write some of our own probably, and then we also we ask some of our friends or contributing writers to write some for us, and then also Thursday of the next week we will set up the paper because the paper comes out on Friday, and as the sports editor, I set up pages 7 and 8, so I get the layout all. I kind of set it up and put the stories in where they need to be, put some pictures on, and kind of just go with that.
Okay. And what are some of the benefits and challenges of working for a print medium in today's technological age?
Well, obviously there's a lot of challenges nowadays just because with social media that people can just look at their phone. Students on campus can look at their phone and see, what sporting events are happening or what score happened in this game or this is going on campus. But I think there's also a lot of benefits for it because I think a lot of people, especially like faculty and coaches, kind of the older generation on campus, I think they still really like to sit down and read the paper. And so when it comes out, I think they kind of get more excited. But hopefully the students, as they grow older, kind of continue to do that as our generation, just so newspapers don't kind of fade away.
And since this is your second year working on The Courier, how is working this year in comparison to last year?
It's a lot different. Just in last year, I was, one of the new members, so I didn't really have a lot of duties. I'd get a lot of help from Miranda and Riley and Christian. But this year, me and Riley Riley Hess are the only returners from the newspaper. So I have to, especially when we started, I had to really help the new people set up their pages, and because when you're first getting into it, you don't really know exactly what to do layout wise and stuff like that. And then also we have a new advisor. Professor Angotti retired this past summer, and now Dwayne Bonifer is our advisor for the newspaper, and he's done a great job so far. But it's been a little change from just having a bigger role on it and changing advisors also.
And other than writing, what other skills does one need to master in order to become an editor for the newspaper?
Well, like I said, layout-wise, you need to be able to kind of picture what you think the paper needs to do. It can't look all messed up and jumbled, and it kind of needs to have a certain look to it for being a newspaper. And then you also I've learned you can't always make everyone happy, especially with opinion pieces and stuff like that, that people are always going to be upset, and we've kind of learned that we have to kind of use our own judgment and ethics to see what we think is right and what we think we should put in the paper.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you for taking the time to talk to us. The Courier releases a new issue of their newspaper every Friday, so be sure to check it out. And up next is Scott's Daily News.